She, the lecturer of IIBF, right, to moderate for the session. Right, thank you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. To our most distinguished panel, which I will introduce shortly, invited guests, honored guests, colleagues, academics, beloved students, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I think this topic, waqf, is close to all our hearts, right? It's very close to all our hearts. Every time when somebody say waqf to me, I have a religious experience. I mean, that's because the way we have been brought up, all right? But after a while, we begin to see it from a much broader picture. And we begin to see that it is such an important, not only a concept, not only an instrument, not only a model, not only a vehicle, but an institution. All right. When it becomes an institution, it will be a permanent feature in a society. In fact, the earlier discussions that we had was, we were talking about connecting the dots in the Islamic finance ecosystem, or even in the social ecosystem. And today, I think we are fortunate because we are looking at maybe one of the most important dots. All right, we have understood, this morning while I was driving, I was listening to the social prono on the waste economy. All right, so we have all sorts of, but I think what we have before us today are the waqf pronos, okay? The most important mental frames that we hope to learn from, inshallah, this afternoon. And we hope they could share their experience and so on. And the other thing that I just like to mention is we have been very much in so-called the Islamic finance or Islamic banking finance. But since the 80s or even in the 60s, we always ask what is the social dimension, all right? Malaysia in particular, if I can highlight a little bit, when it comes to regulation, there was actually a big paradigm shift when we moved from Islamic Banking Act to the Islamic Financial Services Act. There was one clause which talked about the religion of Islam. That means Islamic banking business is the business according to the religion of Islam. Now that clause somehow has been dropped. And we are left with Sharia compliant. And it became very legal, all right, in many respects. So I think the consequence of such framing of even a simple but most important document can actually influence the mindset of the industry, as sometimes we live more in fear rather than in hope, all right? So I hope this discussion that we have today will broaden up further and will give us a more refreshing dimension of waqf as a very important cornerstone of Islamic social finance, and to see social finance from a much bigger, broader perspective. Maybe I could have the opportunity to introduce our guests today. If with permission, I introduce semua sekali, jadi lepas tu we can just proceed. We have Dr. Muhammad Zainul Ahmad Hajar, who has a PhD, MBA in Globalization Entrepreneurship, Chairman of Zainul Chicken Industries, a highly successful multiple industry award industrialist who pioneered organic chicken and halal market with more than 26 years of senior management and board leadership. He has been a regular speaker on Waqf embedded business in both Malaysia and international forums. Okay, may we welcome Dr. Muhammad Zainal? Yes. Next, we have Dato' Abu Ubaidah Kemen, who has a BA Honours in Da'wah and Usuluddin from IIUM. And he is also the Executive Director of Al-Akhyar Education Group Sdn Bhd. He can be described as a scholar, educator, philanthropist, with Da'wah mission and engage in Islamic business. Also with bank Waqaf initiatives among Muslim communities. All right? May I welcome Dato' Abu Ubaidah. Yes. And I think you also did a master's, yes? Here? In India, okay. Next, our distinguished guest, if I can introduce, is our Associate Professor, Dr. Muhammad Mazlan Haji Cik Mat. Now, this is very interesting. He has a PhD in value management, an MBA, a quantity surveyor, certified chartered quantity surveyor, bachelor of quantity surveyor, all right, and also in marketing, all right. So you can see multidisciplinary. He has been a registered quantity surveyor and chairman of ISFO2020 Sdn Bhd, Selangor Waqaf Corporation, as well as executive chairman of MCM Value Sdn Bhd. And also with this, he is also with the Chamber of Commerce Malaysia, who co-founded the International Center of Waqaf Research with IIUM, yes? And you organized the first Waqaf International Conference in Turkey in 2014. Yes. Can we welcome? And last but not least, I was fascinated when I was reading your biodata. A medical doctor, MD, correct? Am I correct? Yeah, because USM give MD, not MBBS. Yeah, from University Science Malaya, masters in pediatrics. So he loves children, all right, obviously. A consultant pediatrician, board member of Kaseh Holdings. I think he's also the founder of Kaseh Group of Hospitals and Clinics. And he has led humanitarian missions since 2012 in Gaza, Syria, and Cambodia. So you can imagine a very colorful panel we have, all right, and all of them to share with IIUM. Can we give them a round of applause? All right, now I come to the part that they don't like, which is the protocol, all right? So each of our panel are given about 15 to 20 minutes maximum, but I'll try to keep it to 15 minutes. And at the end of it, we'll have a discussion, and then we'll give them another 3 minutes before we end. Now, for those who have got questions long, because I know you were all quite disappointed this morning, you want to have more questions, but you were restricted. But for those who get to ask verbal questions, we will do it as much as we can. I think without further ado, may I invite our first panel to present. Tafadhal.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Since the learned moderator, my friend Dr. Musa, whispered to me that 15 minutes is all he can give us, so we're going to cut short very fast. Okay. Let me just go through in a very short period of time, introduction of Waqaf. Everybody knows it is part of the religion of Islam, and it is had a colorful history, and now it is in the graveyard. Because, as you know, we have been enjoying the history, and we have not been able to realize the fact of what we are doing now. To the event, you may be angry with me, but the fact is the Muslim community has become more of rhetoric, and we have failed to understand between the issue and the event. That's the tragedy. Okay, event like this, if the organizers would excuse me, the Waqaf is a fashionable, trendy word now. One, it's fashionable. Everybody wants to adorn it. That's the problem with us. The fact that, we read in the history, the Crusaders who came into conquering of Islam. We say they conquer. When Islam, we say we open. We don't use the word conquer. They took with them the good part of the Waqaf. And today they have successfully implemented the Waqaf throughout the Western world. And we are still struggling. Not only we are struggling, we are finding a methodology of approach after so many papers that have been presented worldwide, and none has been implemented successfully other than some of those in Turkey. But if you look at the Waqf or the endowment itself, just, I know, all of us have read this, the money that Harvard University has can manage Somalia, Djibouti, Afghanistan, and certain African countries. Even they can manage Malaysia. That's the amount of money they have through endowment. If you look at if you look at some of the lists that I've got for you, all the universities in America, they can buy IIUM tomorrow. Where are we? I mean, let's face the reality. Where are we? My two friends and colleagues, we are trying to do a lot with Waqf. The problem with Waqf today, it has been put under the establishment. And those people who sit on Waqf think it belongs to the grandfather. In Islam, you have to take certain amount of challenge. The ulama has to come with some ijtihad to see how this Waqf can be made successful through embedded business. It's no more donation because the political landscape is changing. For example, I sit on the board, not actually the board, the advisory panel of Ar-Raji, who has got $5.2 billion given up as Waqf, Ar-Raji, in form of business. And, he has given the assurance, Sulaiman Ar-Raji, the father, he has given the assurance to the Saudi king. He says that the food security for the people of Saudi and the gas of Haramain is in the hand of Sulaiman Ar-Raji. He has invested everything. He is slaughtering 1 million bird per day. He's got a business, 260 kilometers of the Saudi coastal area with aquaculture project. That's from KL to Johor Bahru. And the money, when I was having a chat with him, the moment he announced Ar-Raji to be a Waqf embedded business, from 1.3 billion Saudi riyal turnover, the next month itself, the volume jumped to almost 2 billion Saudi riyal. Because he made one small video clip telling the Saudi people that once it has been pronounced as Waqf, the consumers who buys a Raji product automatically says, I'll make dua for you and your parents, the reward by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But what's happening with our Waqf? We have a lot of land. We'll come back. The nearest of the university who has so much money is King Abdullah University. That is because the king used to give money. I've been sourcing for the latest figures. They don't have. I guess the 20 billion US dollar that they had would have finished by now because of the Saudi economy itself. And let me tell you my journey. If I'm going astray, just put me back. I first started on my own, sharing you the experience. I wanted to do something Waqf after working for Coca-Cola for so many years. Then I moved on to work for Pfizer, two American giants owned by Jews with a mind that is mind-boggling, the money they have. So I approached everybody in Malaysia, everybody, from the RTM, the Minister, TV3, News Straight Times, Berita Harian, Utusan Malaysia. And I asked them, I said, I don't want money. I want to do a business. Can you have a Rockefeller model that you tee off my business? You have newspaper. You are writing so much about the artists. Just forget about them, one page. You just give me. You don't have to even do any extra spending on putting my story in your newspaper. Same with the TV, same with TV3. And nobody is willing to tee off. Let me just tell you in this auditorium. How did McDonald's become popular? If anybody can answer me, I give you 10 chicken free at the weekend in my shop. McDonald's was doing burgers in the beach. And Rockefeller found the potential of them, and they tee them off with, during those days when you don't have internet, all this kind of what you call social media, and they used the newspaper, they used their TV, tee off. You know what was the first they did with McDonald's? They say, okay, this weekend you do 15 to 50 burgers, we're going to take it to the orphans. And Monday, early morning in the New York Times, the first thing appear front page, we have given birth to a company which has CSR on its top of its list. Only 50 burgers, one said. Nothing more. Nothing more. The next week, they did it with some old folks home. Yes. Then they sit down and broke their heart and mind to come out in differentiating the product. They say, okay, what you do now, you grill your burgers with olive oil. You charge them. You look at the menu and the price list, they have two prices. Normal oil so much and olive oil so much. But in the newspaper it came out, this is the company which cares for your heart. And McDonald's became number one. And the simple agreement is they contribute 6% to the Rockefeller Institute. So easy. In business you need exposure. And the only place that you can get exposure with people, institution who has the media. Nothing else. Same like university. And Intel was nowhere to AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. They were the biggest chip makers. Rockefeller teed them off. Same thing with a lot of pharmaceutical companies. So I went around asking everybody, and the answer is, kita ni surat khabar kecil, if I give you free, other guys will ask me free, TV, how to give you, So I gave up on all of these guys and went to the Islamic radio. IIUM. And I don't want to mention name, and the former KP was the dean of UIA. Saya kita radio kecil lah doktor, kalau kita bagi orang lain datang minta macam mana? No. I mean, people who talk every week in the radio of economy of Islam could not still understand. I'm not asking money. I'm asking space, which in return I'm prepared to give you. And if you find this model is working for you, you can develop 1,000 entrepreneurs and you are able to get millions of dollars like how the other universities in the US has been doing it. But why can't we understand? So I went on my own journey to set up the first Wakaf factory. What does the Wakaf factory means? I have a factory. I allow all the asnaf, be it a single mother, anybody who wants to use my factory, who can produce some product that he has that knowledge. Ahlan wa sahlan, free, use it. I pay the electricity, I pay the water, I pay everything for you. Okay, that's how we do. But we are small, and we've been struggling. My dear doctor friend is struggling to set up a Wakaf hospital. Dato Abu is traveling the whole world. I'm suggesting he must marry 4 wives. So that, he gets tired traveling every now. I pity him, When he landed up in Malaysia, he looked so, I said, this is the contribution we are making. But it's falling on the deaf ears. And nobody seems to know where we are heading with this Wakaf. Yes, very good. As I said, we've been very rhetoric. We are good in organizing seminars. This is one mosque that, one surah, we did it on our own. It was like this, pathetic. How can you allow people to, pray in this kind of place and say this is surah? This is in the heart of KL. So what we do, we convert this and, we do all this on our own without expecting anything. Okay, come back to serious. Food is the weapon of today. How does American big companies, Monsanto, Cargill, control small African countries? I don't have to say. This article was written in 1943 after the Second World War, which they declared the future war is all about food. That's what's happening. Imagine the first Iraq war. What does America do first? Embargo. Iran, embargo. Somalia, embargo. They know without food, the government will collapse. And why we are not working towards it now? The Wakaf today in Malaysia, in the context of Malaysia, repair surau, repair masjid, repair itu, repair ini, They're not looking at how to grow. That's the problem. I mean, forgive me. You put an ustad to look after a multi-million-dollar project, Qalu inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. I mean, forgive me. I've told them so many times, I give you a bike, you sit down in Shah Alam, or you sit down in Putrajaya early morning, go to the house, teach the students or the children's Muqaddam. That's what you're good for. If you can't think what is good for Islam. So, you see, food is becoming so important. And we have not taught how to have food security. The ex-minister announced Malaysian food security is only for 2 days. Let's say if there's, anything happens, we have a border which is not friendly in the south. We have a border in Thailand which is also not friendly. And I think we have to go back to R. Azmi's song, Terkenang ke masa dulu, ketika Jepun melanda tanah Melayu, makan ubi kayu. So, I think the pictures, these are the pictures which all of you all know, I mean, why when there is a successful story of Waqaf for 1,400 years and others have taken it from us and we are still struggling with all this picture? I mean, why it's happening? I think there needs a paradigm shift in the Waqaf, the approach of Waqaf. It needs new ijtihad. It needs to look into, you see, it's becoming more challenging now. Araji wanted to give me some money. They cannot pass it to me because under the new Saudi law, any donation to be given to any part of the world has to go to the Salman Foundation first. Salman decides what he wants to do. Okay? And the same thing, anything that is above 30,000 ringgit, I got it from somebody, I have to answer Bank Negara 1,000 questions for 30,000 US dollars. They're afraid that, the ex-prime minister brought in 2.6 billion. They did not ask this question. So for 30,000, they want to make sure they ask you all these questions. Wallahu a'lam. That's, for you to think over. And please, I think my last plea to the university who has the faculty of Mu'amala, you have so many things. Sit down, think, how could you possibly, don't help me, help some other businessmen, tee of them business, get the students to get involved, a project to be successful. If it is successful, then there will be not any problem for you to get money, like what the universities in the US and the Europe does. Please, think about it. And remember my word, there's two big difference between event and issue. The issue of Waqaf is not being settled. Events are things like today that's happening every month to fulfill our KPI, budget, and all those things. Maybe in UIA today, after this, I think we'll seriously look into it. Dr. Musa, I guess. Said Musa, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad Zainul, for that paradigm shift. I mean, we were just talking about connecting the dots. Now we have to look at paradigm shift. Maybe one small takeaway for us is, since we just launched our Islamic social finance specialization, we should build up some projects that the students can link directly with the industry, and it could even progress to an incubation project. All right, thank you very much. May I now invite...
Just
yes,
one
please.
thing.
Yeah, please.
To tell everybody, my service 24 hours is free. If you want to set up a project,
Yes.
call me anytime I'm here. I'm based in here. Take a helicopter straight down here and make sure we want to do something. I'm serious.
Jazakumullah. Thank you. Yes, we really look
I'm
forward. Yeah.
64 years old. I'm
Yes.
waiting for my time to be called by my creator.
Yes.
Before that, we want to do something to make sure the younger generation will start following.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. We did with fintech. Now I think we should extend it to Waqf, inshallah. All right. Thank you again. Can you give a big round of applause now? Alhamdulillah. May I invite our Dr. Muhammad Zakrul? Yes. We just mentioned about the health, and we had some very worried images. So I think it's quite timely for you to at least calm us down. Please, Allah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Prof. Syed Musa. and all distinguished speaker and all audience. Nervous pula. I never speak to finance people kan. As a lecturer, I only teach my student, medical student, not finance, totally different bidang. Okay, a little bit background. We actually Kasih, what actually Kasih do? Since the change of government, Pakatan from BN to PH, we start initiative this Wakaf Healthcare. We start initiate awal lagi 4 years back, but during the BN era, Wakaf is so alien good, because for them, for the authorities, Wakaf is something that difficult to do. Okay, zakat easy because awareness of our people, zakat is super. 4 billion Malaysian collection for zakat. For wakaf, nobody knows. Wakaf muamalat, tak transparent. So we're talking about transparency here. So since the change of government, we try to initiate again, because at that time we thought the new government naive ataupun masih lagi looking for ideas. So we launch, we bulldoze. And sampai to the extent people thought I am political link. No, I'm not. I make a declaration here. So since change a new government again, I launch again lah. Okay. Okay. So what we do is actually wakaf. We try to avoid now, after 22 months of trying to do wakaf kesihatan, wakaf healthcare, we try to do affordable healthcare. Why affordable healthcare? Because we are multiracial. We are multi-ethnicity. We are multi-mazhabi. Konon-konon kan. Multi-mazhab. Ministers of Religious Affairs pun dah kena label juga. So, difficult. Malaysian attitude, Malays especially, too divided. Sorry to say, I'm divided due to ethnic, bangsa Johor like Datuk Abu, dia tak declare orang Malaysia. Dia bangsa Johor, you know, he's talking about Perlis, Wahabi, banyak issues bila sebut pasal wakaf. So, might as well I just talk about affordable, wakaf as a ruh. Wakaf 3 ruh. Okay? So the concept is easy. We're talking about healthcare. 70% of Malaysian and foreigners are unable to get specialist service. Can you ask our friend here, your student, your UIA student, can they go to your hospital Selayang for treatment? They're not. Now, government is charging 5,000 for normal delivery. Recently, Uncle Kwan post in the FB, the Indonesian workers just passed away at home due to unable to pay for fees. How come Malaysia can be developed country? For God's sake, they will not. You know, because why? Majority of us thinking the healthcare is a bulletproof business. True, right? It's a multi-billion business. Okay? So, for that matters, we actually launched the 2 concepts here. One is tabung kesihatan kasih, means whole is wakaf or endowment or hibah, because it's a long term. Or sadaqah, name it, everything. Okay? But tabung asnaf kasih purposely for zakat. We actually appointed as Amil, agent collection zakat for wilayah Selangor, Maidam, Terengganu, and also Perlis. This is the reality, said to say, of course this is the reality, majority unable to see specialists. Majority specialists in private, 50% of pediatrician in private, 50% in government. Majority located in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor. Talking about Perlis, Kedah, Kelantan. Kelantan, alhamdulillah, sufficient numbers of specialists, but inadequate numbers in terms of manpower, workforce. Okay, so what happened? You see, daily people start to beg for money, help. Minta pergi IJN, money for IJN, money for specialist service, money for plastic surgeons, you know. All these things are not accepted actually, because healthcare is a need. Buat duit lah, tapi tak perlulah beria kan. Okay, so this is the reality. This is the best thing about the new PN. You may not agree with me. The most important is this, number 3. Perkhidmatan kesihatan dengan kos berpatutan. The government has been serving the Malaysian for 1 ringgit and 5 ringgit. So has been perpatutan for all these 62 years pun sebenarnya. You know, but we are talking affordability for everyone to see the specialist. Everyone to, our non-Malaysian brothers or sisters to seek treatment in Malaysian setup. This is the most important. So how are we going to do that? Because in Malaysia, we have at least 6 million foreigners, which is under radar. The remaining numbers not known. Okay? Under radar is 6 million. Okay? The remaining we don't know. So majority of them is Indonesian, Pakistani, India, and Bangladeshi. The major race, major group of people in Malaysia. So, and all these people are unable to see the specialist or seek appropriate medical treatment. So we are looking into another event in which the Malaysian government spent 1.5% of GDP, a total of 4%, 2.5 was contributed by the private sector. So where are we? So this is the one that I want to highlight, perkhidmatan kesihatan yang berpatutan. See, this is the latest case, sad case that Uncle Kwan went to see in Puchong. Where in nearest hospital in Puchong? Hospital Putrajaya and Serdang. Hospital Putrajaya and Serdang. In which the baby and the mother die in utero. Maksudnya nak bersalin, meninggal. Which is, to be a developed country, maternal mortality must be low. Ini dah considered our maternal mortality. Biarpun kita kata, even though we said it's an Indonesian, it's die in our land. So it's our mortality. Okay? And it's that she died because we unable to seek treatment. Because money is an issue. The foreigners, if they went to our government hospital, first thing that they ask, the deposit. The deposit. No way like those days, you see. Not the doctors, the administrator. So Kasih, like me, they just passed through this. We are trying to set up the woman and child in Putrajaya. And we're already running up the Cyberjaya with our outpatient services and for women and child and multidiscipline. This is the setup, the hospital, 32-bedded hospital. People are asking me 1 million. Just now also Datuk Daud Bakar mentioned 1 million, 1 bed. No? 1.5 is the most highest investment done by Avicenna. 1.52 per bed. But if you went to see Datuk Omar, if you want to see Datuk Omar, Datuk Serdang did mention, if you are poor, don't come to our hospital. Definitely. Thomson CEO make the same statement. If you fell sick, you think the hospital bill is too expensive, don't get sick. True enough, because the investment is huge. Better die. Okay? But are we a Muslim willing to accept that? No, because you're talking about 1 million, 1 bed. If everybody here willing to contribute 1 million for one hospital, no investment has been made. That's the whole issue. Because that is all about Muslim world. We are united, but yet we are divided. So the history have shown many hospitals that been developed using the Wakaf instrument. So now, like Dr. Zainul said, it's already in the graveyard. Okay, this is the hospital. We are pending 5 million to complete. Pending 5 million. I hope Islamic Finance can help me. Okay. Similarly, like this, Hospital Pakar Berpusat Cyberjaya, we get Islamic Finance, 14 million. Oh, died. Okay. Alhamdulillah, maybe we are in the process of JV with Samdabi and also Jacob to take up the project so that we become a firefly of MAS. They become the MAS, we become a firefly. Because otherwise people will ask, who actually, Kasih, how we want to do, where we want to do. The idea is that we want to make sure the Asnaf get treatment free. We want to be the B40 or our foreigners friend, foreigner student, whoever, UNHCR card to be supported or subsidized. And the M40 can pay, they have to pay. The insurance, we pay the rest of the services in Malaysia. The service, the takaful, we also launched a concept of Wakaf Takaful. 70% of Malaysians are not insured. Only 30% is insured. And by June, the premium will increase by 30%, whoever has the insurance card. Okay? This is the concept. The orientation is always rakyat, the people. For that matters, actually, we try to mention the government should not get involved in this project. Because our government, the healthcare business is multi-billion business. So if government start to take interest, then you know what happened to Tabung Haji, you know what happened, everything. So you're talking about wakaf is belong to everyone. So you can appoint the trustees. The government be part of the trustees, not part of the project. That's our concept. That's why Majlis Agama hate us because of this. Okay? But we told Majlis Agama, you just sit and become the trustees. No, we don't want. We want to be part of the project. Okay? And we want to help perkembangan, means expanding the function of the government hospital, so that the government hospital, our specialists no need to resign. They can work there and get paid. Okay? And at the same time, Malaysian UIA have a medical school, only after 10 years or 15 years, only have 20 years. Almost 20 years you have your own hospital, and yet you are struggling, still struggling. Hospital UIA in Kuantan struggle to operate, okay? For 35 million population, we have 40 medical schools. The only way to settle the issues is to get them to develop their own hospital. And they will not develop their own hospital because the investment is huge. So develop the hospital and let them operate in that so that it's become cheap. That's how we do. That's how we table. But nobody actually cares, okay? And of course, memperkasakan means awareness. And we plan to launch every state. To date, we actually get into Kedah for Al-Bukhari Hospital, Anissa in Kelantan, Perlis is Tanah Wakaf. We also get involved with Samdabi for 4 states under affordable healthcare, under economic stimulus, insyaAllah. In 4 states means Pagoh, Nilai, Kota Warisan, Kota Bukit Raja, and also Serenia. So this is the trust deed. This is the most important. Whoever become our trust, we can invite every bank here. We spoke to the bank. We spoke to IBIM. We spoke to IBIM. Okay? Why we spoke to IBIM? Because we have SSPN. We have Sijil Simpanan Premium Kependidikan. Why don't we have a Sijil Simpanan Kesihatan, for God's sake? Kan? But according to the trust deed. So, to the Samdabi, easy. They can build as long as there is bank to back up. And we always said, because we sit with Dato' Abu also, when we say SSPN, means our wakaf must be backed by gold. One of the things that we actually highlighted during the meeting with IBIM. So that once it's backed by gold, means is the value is constant lah kan, atau increase. There's not depreciate like now. About ringgit we're depreciating. So we are going to back by gold. In fact, we have I tried to set up with Habib Jewels to get the back by gold. So this is the trust deed. Nobody can touch the money without the trust deed, according to the trustees. This is the trust deed. This is the sumber wakaf lah. Of course, the source of wakaf, a lot of things. But the beneficiary is this. We are trying to, the agihan manfaat means contribute to beneficiaries, the asset, fixed asset about 10 to 30%, and majority for the patients, which is 90% maximum to the patients. Because if the building belongs to the ummah, the operation also belongs to the ummah. So it doesn't belong to anybody. This is what it looks like. I just passed through this because this is the process. Whoever pays zakat or wakaf goes to the tabung, and trustees, receipt, and also audit as a governance. Okay? And the process at the hospital, you just imagine the KPJ, you go to see the doctors, registered, and table, and declare which tiers are you, whether you B40 or zakat or whatever. So if you can pay, you pay. You don't pay, you don't pay. Very easy. But of course, for the time being, we're struggling also to make sure our patient got supported. There's a few cases, because once we launch the concept, people start to tag my name in the FB. So I have to attend the case. We'll take only genuine case. This is baby Burhan, Pakistani baby, day 3 of life. When they call from hospital PD at 11 p.m. at night, said this baby has bowel obstruction, need to be operated as soon as possible. And government hospital, he is not the priority because he's Pakistani. Okay? His waiting case in Seremban had 6 cases before him. So HKL unable to do, so slandered in Sunway. So Sunway wanted to do, but stuck in the ED, and need a deposit 2,000 for ambulance, 5,000 for operation. So, siapa gatal pergi hantar kan? So, it's end up the child and the emergencies of Sunway. The hospital called me, because the child can save. So, we have to do something. So, we raised fund for him. We took 40,000 over 12 hours, and we do it in Prince Court. The Sunway not willing to do because of BMF. The other day was BMF, so high spirit of BMF. So Sunway don't want to do. Wajar. This is Anis. The Anis is an example. Anis is a 15 years old girl. Burn case, 70% burn. Father passed away at scene. The Dobby exploded. Explosion at Dobby. So the thing is, people tag me because the child has been not going to school because of bad scar. Very bad scar. So we cannot blame the government hospital for not treating this because they are life-saving. Life-saving, done. So this child need further than that, more than that. So we talk to the, first impression, if you go to her house, all aircon. Oh, aircon, air conditioning. Of course, it's burn case. She need the aircon. Otherwise, very itchy. So what we did, I spoke to my friend, Dr. Wan Shazali, in Avicenna, cosmetic surgery. So we intervene upper body and face when we request from Lembaga Zakat 50,000 allocation. The problem with Lembaga Zakat, allocate but pay and claim. Where the hell we got money to pay and claim? You allocate 50,000, we send you the bill, don't pay and claim. You know, but yet this is the mentality. I said, you just allocate 50,000, I send you the bill. No, they want pay and claim. So yet we have to pay and claim lah. So we pay and claim. So otherwise, but the child is very happy. The child is very happy, because he's been traumatized. He cannot see fire. The child cannot see fire at all. This is gelandangan, contacted by Dr. Salihuddin. Will always do a gelandangan clinic in Chowkit. So thought to be leukemia, but not lah. But it's only mycoplasma infection. So this is from Ipoh. Request. So they tag me for CPAP. CPAP is a machine to make the child sustain and able to breathe with support at home. Otherwise the child will stay at home. So only cost 3,000. Mahal ke? Tak mahal pun. 3,000 tak mahal pun. But to get this, zakat perak not really helpful. I'm sorry to say this. You know, maybe because the issue when you start to look into how much income you make, cut off 3,000. You tak tanya dah. You tak tanya dah hutang orang tu berapa. You tak tanya dah rumah dia macam mana. 3,000, okay, you tak not qualified. You know, that's what happened. If you driving or Grab driver, you earn about 4,000 to 5,000. But yet, if you fell sick, means you are zero. So who can attend to your kids, if that sense? If your income is the mark, how actually you try to grade your ecosystem, kan? Kita finance punya side, difficult lah. So this is wow. We get 3,000. This is nothing lah. It's our zakat money. Hali Hatim, Hali Hatim is a Yamani operated. Knowing Malaysian, they only want to help Malaysian. If they want to help other race or other nationalities, it has to be there. You want to help Syrian? Oh, Syrian. We send the money to Syria. You don't want to help Syrian here. You want to help Yemeni? You want to help Yemeni? Yemeni has to be in Yemen, not in Malaysia. This is the thing. We need to raise fund 80,000, and today we only get 15,000. And IGN and this child has been telling us, it's okay, doctor. If Allah created me like this, let me die like this. This is the scenario. We always start to get this 80,000 for this our son, Ali Hatim. So we try to get Insani to get involved, Arabian Village to get involved to help. But the thing is, we're talking about wakaf. It's ummah to ummah. It's not Malaysian to Malaysian. So our direction, we will treat everybody, not with regards of ethnicity, regardless ethnicity, regardless religion. This is Ade Ifa, the niece of pediatrician UIA, Dr. Syed Khalid. Syed Khalid, kenal? Dr. Syed Khalid, neonatologist in UIA. But dia asnaf lah pasal tak mampu. If Syed Khalid resign from UIA, he can help his niece because he can earn 6 figures income. This can be paid easily. But now he also struggle to get the payment code gaji. So you 56 code, 54. So stuck. So we help him. So this one done. We got 50,000. Similarly, zakat only give allocation and pay and claim. Pay and claim. Okay. This is diabetes type 1 from UKM. Prof Rahmah referred to us to help this child because he's sole breadwinner for the families. Diabetes type 1, we will just assist lah. That's how. This is our concept in which our campaign, infak, zakat, we use endowment. We don't use wakaf. Because we spoke to 14 states of religious body. And none of them seems to be interested to be part of us. They want to be named after them, yes. To be part of them, no. Because we said very clear, we don't want you to get involved in the business. Be part of us by trustees, by guiding, not part of the business. Because in fact, we wakaf back. Be a trustees. So it's not easy lah. It's not easy. So we got bank, majority bank, we got RHB Islamic on board, we got Afin Islamic on board, we got Bank Islam on board. But none of the bank actually willing to advertise and cross border. So the market small lah. Islamic Bank Malaysia banyak sangat kan. So if you launch under SSPN, like SSPN, right, we talk to IBIM, it's very grand. Everybody can contribute. You become SSPN. So every hospital can really have a luxury punya style of healthcare. Thank you very much.
Mazrul, Dr. Muhammad Zakrul. I think it's very enlightening to bring us through the medical pathway for us to see what are the issues and of course also the events. If I could share a little bit, I think in Takaful, because I've also been involved in the Takaful industry for some time. The one business that Takaful doesn't like is actually the medical business. I mean, the same mindset like insurance, you don't make money in that sector. You end up having to keep revising the premium from time to time. So it's a loss-loss strategy. I think it's time for us to look at Takaful in a more systematic manner and see how we can collaborate. I think there are already efforts on micro Takaful and so on, but still more to go lah. All right, thank you very much. Yes. Now, may I invite Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Mazlan to share with us on real estate development of Waqaf land. Yes. Yes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa salihat wa tawassaw bil haqq wa tawassaw bis sabr. Okay, the Waqaf institutions, as we reckoned, basically be governed by the state Islamic religious councils, right, or Majlis Agama Islam Negeri-Negeri. That is all about. So, as we all know, there are a lot of untapped Waqaf land in the country. So altogether, about 27,000 acres. So in Selangor, I'm referring to particularly to Selangor. All right. This is the contents of my presentation. Okay. Back to the fundamental definition of real estate. Real estate is a multi-task business process and diverse activities ranging from refurbishment and renovation of existing buildings, aim to get a better rental value, to the purchase of land to be developed either for sale or lease. Joint venture with the existing landowners are another approach in real estate development and sharing the benefits on agreed terms. Our main core intention of the forming a company in Selangor, wholly owned by Perbanan Waqaf Selangor and eventually owned by MAIS, basically to unlock the intrinsic value of the real estate land, right? In particular, the Waqaf. And then also how to link the social finance to social engineering. So then our main intention was to offer the price range, price bracket that's below the market price. We try to aiming of 5 to 10% below market price, because to have a wide coverage of the potential buyers among the Muslim Ummah, right? This is the total acreage of Waqaf land in the whole country, comes about 11,000 hectares, roughly about 27,000 acres. So, and then we are being entrusted to do the kind of site analysis, looking into the potential strengths of the sites, what sort of components, development component that suits that particular land. And then either we go for istibdal, meaning we value the land at market price and buy the land elsewhere. For instance, we have doing quite a number of istibdal now, meaning we purchase valued particular Waqaf land and replace with another land of that similar in nature and also similar in value, right? So why? Because we reckon that particular Waqaf land is strategically and can be developed into a housing scheme, right? Then, but prior to that, we have to make sure that the relevant fatwas must be in place. So, because as you know, we cannot sell the Waqaf land, right? Okay, it is against the Islamic Sharia laws. So what we do is, definitely we go for 99-year lease. So fatwa is being gazetted pertaining to the effect. And also another pertinent fatwa related to real estate development is to have the provision that the Waqaf land can be allowed for public usage, because assuming you're going to develop a real estate development components, mixed development, either shop lots, either apartments and etc., landed properties, there are requirements by local authorities, the PBTs, because tempatan, it requires a certain portion of land must be given to the public usage, say football fields and greens and sewage treatment and so on. On the other hand, those are Waqaf land, you see, because being zoned for that particular purpose, either the masjid, the surau, and so on and so forth. So we need to have that also in place. So the fatwa must be gazetted, that Waqaf land, upon getting approval by authorities, can be also allowed for greens and open spaces. Right. So there are one of few fundamental fatwa that need to be gazetted first before we develop the Waqaf land. This is the some kind of model that we developed in Selangor in particular, but it applies to other countries, of course. This is a universal approach. This is the SSRC, the State Islamic Religious Council. And then we have UAMI, is a company dedicated to develop Waqaf land, wholly owned by Perbanan Waqaf Selangor and also MAIS, which I see on the board, and the chairman of ISFO. And we have this quite thorough site analysis, right? This particular plot is meant for service station, for instance. We are going to, inshallah, launch 2 petrol kiosks this year, 3 housing projects. See? We're just about to complete, 99% completed, 41-story, double-story houses in Meru there, in Lombo. Then, yeah, it's quite grand scale in the next pipeline. And then we have to list to the public, we call it lessee, and development implementation. So the profits will be split into 2. one is to beneficiaries, and then the balance will go back to the funder. The funder in this case is Perbanan Wakaf Selangor, okay, our parent company, and also the general fund of SSRIC, the MAIS. So we get some general fund from MAIS and also Wakaf Selangor, but they are the main key contributors. But we also talk to the banks. We talk to few banks like Maybanks and Islamic Bank, Malak and so on. They're also very willing now. We have roundtable discussion with them, and then they are willing to both finance the bridging finance and also end financing, because eventually the guarantor is MAIS. So then the beneficiaries is the musallas and schools and so on and so forth. One of another main intention of developing this wakaf land is also to, as I mentioned here, to unlock the value of the real estate. All right. Assuming that particular plot of land is meant for developing a masjid, a mosque. But we know for sure that there's already a neighboring lot meant for mosque. So why don't we develop this particular piece of land into a real estate development, for instance, landed properties? See? And then that particular plot of land will be valued at market price. Say 2.4 million. I just got an example of 2.4 million. So from the proceeds of the selling of the shop lots, say may profit, say 5 million ringgit. The distribution will be 30-70. 30 we go back to the funder. In the case is Wakaf Selangor and also the state, the MAIS, and 70 be plowed back to the business to finance future operations and for working capital and so on and so forth. And then that 30%, right, we go back to the beneficiaries. So in other words, from just building one mosque, for the profit they get from the developing the shop houses, we be using for future expansions and future beneficiaries. The masjid, for instance, we have financed the upgrading works of College Islam Kelang, for instance. We recently completed major upgrading works of one masjid in Bernam. So these are the beneficiaries from the profit that we gather from the development of the real estate. So this is just a matter of proposed development of wakaf land, project district acre proposed development, two-story shop, office and bazaar. This is status is 4 years back, but more on the concept, Right. So this is being how it's distributed. There was profit return 70% as mentioned. Profit of 5 million, 3.5 million goes back to the business operations, right? The 10% back to general wakaf, and then the net profit is 3.15 then, because deduction of 350 against 3.5 against 350 against 3.5. Then the profit 2.25, and then with the balance goes to the beneficiaries. All right, this is the value of the property before it was 2.4 million, right? Now, because of this process, unlock the value of the property. Now, 2.4, we get another profit of 1.5. Now, the net earnings return of this two beneficiaries is enhanced. 2.4 plus 1.5 get 3.4. Sorry, 3.9. Now we get 3.9 cash. So from 3.9, that will spur further economic activities. For instance, we are going to build many mosques or masjid, whatever, hospital, clinics, elsewhere in the states, for instance, all elsewhere in the country. It depends on the policy of that particular funder. See? So rather than 2.4 being not be capitalized, now we have 3.9 cash, because we have to steep down, and then you have to get that 2.9 cash. We are earning potential earning because of the sharing of profit of 30%. It's 1.5 million or 5 million. That's 2.4, 3.9. So 3.9 you can generate more activities. So assuming 27,000 acres of Wakaf land, unlocked Wakaf land in the countries. See, of course, some of these are very, very piecemeal in nature, half-acre lot, quarter of an acre, not potential to be developed. But I'm sure doing the site analysis, we can do a lot of things. Kiosks, for instance. So we can have BMF kiosks, for instance. Even small scale, but capital land, Wakaf land, you can have kiosks all over the country. This is a really typical one. So I think we are a very, very aggressive team in Selangor, doing a lot of things nowadays, unlocking the value of the real estate of Wakaf land. This is the expected GDV, gross annual value of the property, upon completion, 22 million, and GDC for the project is 17 million. So we get a gross profit of 5 million, which is 22.73, because we have a threshold of shouldn't be lesser than 15%. We only embark on a project upon getting 15% and above. We will not embark on a project below 15%. Because why? Some developers insist on 20%. 20% of, that's the threshold before they embark on certain development. But in our case, because we are aiming for selling the units 5 to 10% below market price. See? So, and then we arrange everything, of course, the bridge finance and financing. Then, this is another approach. That one is basically we value the land and we recoup back through istibdah. For instance, in this case, it is a calculation to assist and to offer more affordable homes, for instance. In this case, this is single-story terrace houses. The GDV is 5.2 million against a cost of 4.5. So you get a net profit of profit on cost is 60 something. Gross profit, sorry, 70,000. Okay, and then eventually, and then work out the details of the monthly commitment to the bank, right? With the land, inclusive of the land, 798. But if you capitalize the Wakaf land, which is not being paid because it's already Wakaf, provide is general Wakaf for the Ummah. Because you have three types of Wakaf, specific Wakaf, general Wakaf, and family Wakaf. See? So then you can only pay 578 per month. That comes about 240 ringgit difference, which is big sum for B40 people. See? So this is another approach whereby, of course, contractors make a conventional profit margin of 15%, 12%. That's conventional for contractors to make that money. So, but because of for the land, it's already being absorbed, right? Normally, in the context of development, land cost is about 20% of development of the components. Say for terrace house, 100,000, the land cost is 20,000. So by capitalizing this, the Wakaf land, you have already eliminated the 20,000 ringgit, except for conversion. Some little premium for conversion from agriculture perhaps to residential, commercial. But the land is being absorbed because it's already Wakaf. Then in the end, we reduced for the particular development, terrace houses, the B40 people, we only pay 578 against the 798. So 240 difference a month is big money. It's big money for a period of 25 years or 30 years. So this is something that is very interesting. I'm sure the banking finance team can do a lot of research in this. I'm sure we are willing to collaborate and share the experiences. How the social finance can enhance further the positivity of social engineering perspective. You're thinking about not just B40, but even N40, for instance. Because to buy a 500,000 house, you need an income earn about 12,000 ringgit easily. So 10,000. So definitely Wakaf land can be of great potentials to be capitalized. So what we need to do is to have a lot of database and do a lot of analysis, what we do in Selangor now. So we are also promoting to other states to really unlock the intrinsic value of the Wakaf land. Right. So with that, in conclusion, it is without doubt that the value of the Wakaf land can be enhanced Through a systematic, efficient, and effective real estate development, this will yield better return and able to provide greater benefits to Muslims. The potential reduction of selling price of dwellings will result in reduction of the monthly payment to the financial institutions, consequently resulting in more money to be spent for some other necessities and increase the household sufficiency level. The overall GDC and subsequent GDV can be significantly reduced, resulting in the effective utilization of wakaf land. The wakaf development model can be implemented by other nations, entities, and improve over time. With that, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Mazlan. I think, I'm beginning to see more and more projects for IBF. And the last one is property development. I might switch profession after this. Very interesting. Because the challenge about social finance is most of the time we are talking about distribution. But what Dr. Mazlan has shared with us is actually pricing and allocation. So it's actually capital budgeting. Those who are doing FMA, maybe you want to do a project, we can extend this. If we can get some good raw data, we can work on it.
Very much.
Yes, then we can come up with scenarios. Otherwise, we just talk about it, but we can't see the unlocking the value, because unlocking value coming back to price. And I think I can link this to the embedded business project also. It will be very interesting if we can see the hybrid of both ideas, inshallah.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe I should be extra. On top of that, we also identify the key players within the Muslim Ummah to becoming our suppliers and vendors. So we have a pool of registered professionals and contractors and suppliers and all sorts of specialist areas. Then we have an innovative procurement and project management strategy that we further trim down, because we have committed ourselves to sell below market price, 5 to 10%. So we have to have very innovative procurement strategy for us to meet that kind of policy.
So that will bring us to another topic of value chain, probably. Yes, and looking how we make it more optimal. Now our speaker, Malaysian, Bangsa Johor as well. Yeah. May I invite Dato' to share with us. Now his topic is actually closest to us because his topic is on bank waqf. Yeah, and of course you are going to talk much more than that because he's also in the education group. And may I welcome Dato' Abu Ubaidah. Tafadhal.
Thanks, Prof. Musa, distinguished panelists. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Alhamdulillah, we have a very, colorful wakaf fashion. Yeah. Now, alhamdulillah, actually, I'm not a banker, also not an economist. Okay, I graduate with Dawah and Suludin. Okay, bachelor in Dawah and Suludin. Even I didn't complete my master in UIA. Okay, I was dismissed, expelled from university. With a long story, actually I didn't fail. Okay, UIA failed myself. Okay. That time, just 2 minutes, I share how they dismissed me. Okay. Actually, I late for exam, one paper. I thought the papers at 2 o'clock in the evening, so I continued to study up to 3 o'clock till morning 3. So after Fajr, I keep on sleeping. So my roommate says, your papers now in morning. So I rush take my bag and rushing to it. So already after an hour started the exam. Okay, so they don't allow me to enter. Is it Islamic? I will struggle on my own funding. Okay, study in UIA with my kid that time 4%. Okay, with one wife. Okay. So even I have to ride my motorbike from Johor to KL before I bring my family to KL once a week. Okay, Honda X5. Then they dismiss me. Okay, because when they calculate, okay, because I miss one paper, then I doesn't meet the, yeah. Okay, so it's okay. It's okay. Okay, or otherwise I'm not become me as what I'm now. Okay. Okay, thanks. So without having a background in banking, in economy, and also in accounting, okay. Even during my HPM, okay, I just passed my mathematics. I got 7 that time, okay. So I'm very bad in mathematics, but since then, when I graduate from Islamic University in Pakistan, okay, I already set my career. I don't want to work with anybody. I have to have my own freedom. Okay, that's why second I must set my office near my home. So all my office now in 3 houses, okay, 5. Okay, all the houses near by each other and also near my office. Okay, now second near to masjid. Okay, because I want to do a full-time da'i. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Then come into my mind, what happened nowadays? Okay, Muslim around the world become the second-class citizen, become lower-hand society. Okay, whereby in Quran says that Al-Islam always says that khair ummah, kuntum khair ummah, you are the best nation. Okay, example. Okay, the same. Al-Islam ya'lu wa la yu'la alayh. Okay, Islam always on top. Okay, mean Allah provide us a system, a complete system to make us, okay, become a superior nation, superb nation. Okay, but unfortunately, we don't practice. We don't implement Islam as a whole, as a complete way of life. Okay? When we talk about wakaf economy, my focus now is on wakaf economy. Okay? Economy is something that we deal in our daily life. Before you wake up till you back to the bed. All the that's called economic practice. Okay? Before you, get born, okay, until you pass away. All economic, okay? Mean Allah provide us a complete system, all already mentioned in Al-Quran. Anfiqu, okay? Typical interpretation mean anfiq, something that you have to give, share with others. Okay? But for me, anfiqu is invest. Please invest. Okay? Many times Allah doesn't mention for nothing. Okay? That's why in Quran says, وَأَحَلَّ اللَّهُ الْبَيْعَ وَحَرَّمَ الرِّبَا. This principle, the dalil for Islamic banking, or I call it as wakaf banking. I don't want people to get confused, Islamic banking and wakaf banking. Okay, later I'll come into deeper, the difference between wakaf banking and conventional banking or Islamic banking. I'm still saying that conventional wakaf Islamic banking is conventional banking. Okay? The Islamic spirit is not there. Even though they legalize the contract. Okay, the akad. So I don't want to come, but continue to wakaf economy. Okay? When we always make dua, Rabbana fid dunya hasanah. Okay? That means Allah wants us to success in this life. Okay? This life continue to the next life, success in the next life. Okay, mean Allah provide us some system, economic system that to success our life in this world. So what happened nowadays? We are practicing capitalist economy. Okay, capitalist economy that base the sustainability based on taxation, tax. Okay, why don't we convert tax into wakaf? Okay, recently, Malaysian government announced about a stimulus fund, 20 billion. Okay? Actually, Wakaf is stimulus fund on daily basis. I will prove it after this. Okay? That's why I always thinking creating a Wakaf product, Wakaf economic product. Okay, for example, now we have a Wakaf in property. Okay? Wakaf in health. Wakaf in food bank, food security. Wakaf in education. Okay? This is the purpose of economy. The purpose of economy. If we could, embedded the Wakaf system in economic, okay, we generating fund, social funds, huge social fund we can generate every day. And we become an upper hand society. We are giving and giving, you know. Now, so, okay, Wakaf bloom where you are planted. Okay, if you planted Wakaf in the economic system, then the benefit, we can share every time. Okay. So I start with Wakaf sharing 10%, the power of 10%. Later I will come to deeper details about that. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Embedded with justice, ihsan, and rahmah. Economic that embedded with justice, ihsan, and rahmah. While the capitalist economy, okay, for example, in banking, unethical banking or financing system, okay. Then the Wakaf economy will create an upper hand society, okay. Then that will cause prosperity. While the capitalist economy, okay, they create a lower hand society. Then cause what? Poverty. This is what happening nowadays. Okay. For example, there's, in banking. Okay. So where do you put your money? In bank. Okay. So did bank empowering you? No, only 10%. So-called capitalists. Okay. Then they built the tower, the Maybank Tower, the CIMB Tower, the Hong Leong Tower, all big. Then they're financing a big project, okay? While 90% the world population are not empowered the banking system. Okay? So if we can convert the Islamic banking into Wakaf banking, okay, then this all money will empowering us back. Empowering us back. That's why nowadays, world toward a sharing economy. And also world nowadays toward world banking, toward what? Social or Islamic social banking nowadays. Okay? Even this morning also, some of the participants, okay, asking, the moderator asking whether the current Islamic banking is really Islamic. Islamic in terms of contract, okay, but the spirit is not there. Okay, for example, okay. So, if we can create the system based on this hadith, on sadaqah jariyah. Sadaqah jariyah. Usually we think that sadaqah jariyah is something that is spent in the way of Allah. Okay, that something, the reward flows into your graveyard. Okay, flows into your, the rewards, flowing to your graveyard. Okay, but actually, when you talk about wakaf, it's empowering those who are still alive. So those still alive. Meaning when you give wakaf, okay, then that will empowering the economy. Those who are still alive, they can, be prosper. For example, Sadaqah Jariyah. You can create the based on the banking system, okay? The Sadaqah Jariyah mean the benefit of the income of the wakaf, okay, will flows to beneficiaries, okay, in this life, life, okay. Not the next life is of course, okay, that definitely will get, okay. That if, for example, if you open account in bank wakaf, for example, let's say we manage to set up bank wakaf, you open account, saving account in bank wakaf, okay, with a profit sharing basis, wahalallahu al-bay'ah. Okay, that means whatever that you your saving or your deposit or your investment, we share the profit with you. Okay, let's say after 4 years you pass away, then your children print out the statement, bank statement. How can my father's wakaf growing? Okay, still benefit to the family, to the public, based on the will and the wasiat. Now, if wakaf family, okay, that will empower the family. If wakaf general, wakaf public, and empowering the public. Okay, or part of for family, part for the public. Now, and also when, for example, if you open account in wakaf bank, for example, for investment, okay, then you already allocate. That's option, for example, you choose. Okay, I want to give wakaf from the profit 10%. After a few years, I already reached, I want to switch 90% for wakaf. So the wakaf manager, okay, will, follow the instruction. Okay, now. So these are masalul lazina yunfikun amwalahum fi sabilillah. In fact, those who invest in the way of Allah, okay, then kamasil habbatin. This, that means if you practice wakaf economy, okay, that will grow. 1 equal to 7. Then 7 equal to 700. 700. If we practice based on halalul bay'ah, based on business, based on profit sharing. But nowadays, bank didn't practice that. They practice profit sharing for them. Okay, let's say you make a loan. You take a loan from bank. Okay, the first thing first, what? You have to pay the interest, not the principal. Okay, now. So the ayah doesn't stop there. Okay, but Allah yudha'ifu liman yasha. Okay, Allah says it's infinity. This economic, the benefits infinity. Okay, that's why call it. If you practice this, you can become the baldatun tayyibatun wa rabbun ghafur. Okay, so for this, I make my wakaf journey. You see, just to prove you, for example, here when we practice the wakaf, the capitalist economy, it's only empowering small group of people. Okay. Billionaire in United States, 571% billionaires. That's why, who's created this system? The conventional banking system, the riba-based banking system. Who created? The Jew. The Jew. Because in Judaism, they have a belief. Okay? They want to make others than Jew is a slave. So they create the banking system to make us slaves to pay the riba all the ways in our life. For example, you buy a house, 300,000, you have to pay back almost 1 million. The entire life to serve the bank loan, the bank interest. Okay, that's why they create that system to make us as a slave to them, to that system. Okay, now, but if you come back, why I start banking? Why I start banking? The heart of economy is bank. You put all your money in bank. Even the villagers or the kampung all put their money in bank. Okay, that money empowered the 10% only. Okay, now we have this family controls more than 340 banks in the world. Okay, include bank in Malaysia. Okay. Then we are crying every day, calling people to bless, to spread the blessing by giving money. Sadaqah. What? Okay. Want to build masjid, madrasas, calling. Make a very good copywriting, okay, to get the sympathy. Now you must embed the economic wakaf system. For example, now I create this, for example here, I create a Tafismart. You know Tafismart? Grocery. I embedded with wakaf, okay? For example, this month, my sales from 1st March, okay, this is located at Kampung Baru, okay? The sales 1,000 ringgit. I allocate already from the gross sales 1%. That means 8 ringgit. So now already 68 ringgit, okay? Till 8 March. You just imagine if our sales is 6,000 a month, 60,000 a month, how much? I mean, wakaf funds already there. How much? 1% from the gross sale. 60,000. 600 ringgit. Okay? Mean the buyer, the customers also practicing wakaf. Okay? This 600%, 600 ringgit, if all the groceries, Muslim groceries practice this one. Okay? From the gross sale. Let's say the business profit is 10%, 15%, 20%, 1% is nothing. Okay? Now, this is one of the model that I try to introduce. Okay? Now, the other one is this one. My company in Indonesia, wood business. This based monthly. Monthly, we close sales, okay, profit and loss, okay. Then 10%, you see there, this is Indonesian money, 12 million for wakaf. Sharing profit, business owner, business operator with the investor. So investor will get the profit and divide among themselves, okay. Monthly. Now already in 36 months. 3 years already. Mean automated wakaf generated in the business. Okay? Now we build masjid, we build madrasah in Indonesia. Just imagine if 1,000 companies, 100,000 companies practice this. Okay? So we can create this business model in wakaf. For example, takaful. I will just touch a little bit on takaful. Okay. Takaful is a product of, they just convert. Takaful means helping each others. Okay. Insurance. Before we don't have takaful. Before don't have Islamic banking. Okay. Because that time, late 70s, so strong Islamic Islamization. Okay. Movement, okay, we don't have a reference, okay. What they do is, okay, they use still the same framework, capitalist banking, okay, but they Islamize. They only can Islamize the mechanism, but they cannot convert the spirit. Islamic spirit is not there. That's the problem. That through my journey, wakaf journey, worldwide, okay, I can say most of my audience doesn't agree with Islamic banking. In South Africa, in Dubai, in Doha, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, in Brunei, in many countries. Okay, next week I'm going to another school in Krabi, nursing school. My partner is Buddhist. So I introduced my another business model, wakaf product, called it wakaf study loan. Okay? Because the students, more than 80% is Muslim. Okay? Even though my partner is non-Muslim. Okay? But after 6 months, after 8 months, the student will pay back without interest. Okay? Then the others group of students enroll and they can use that amount. Okay? they pay exactly what they get. I mean the Wakaf study loan. This one can practice in Malaysia. Okay, now. So, so how we can sustain without charging interest? Without charging tax? Okay. How the economy can sustain? Okay, that's the beauty of, the Islamic system, Islamic economic system. Blessing, based on blessing. Okay. For example here. Okay. Just give me another 10 minutes, huh? Or 5 minutes, okay. Okay. Wakaf economy. Okay, wakaf economy for what? To meet the maqasid of economy, the maqasid of wakaf. Okay. For wakaf property, for example, okay, if you use wakaf fund, wakaf system, okay, to fund the project, okay, it becomes lesser, cheaper, compare if you take Islamic banking funding or conventional funding. Okay, now wakaf food security. Okay, for example, we have 1 million. Okay, instead you put into bursa saham. Okay, you practice a speculative business, speculative investment. Okay, you may loss billion of dollars in one night. Okay, 4 billion, for example, 4 billion you put into wakaf farming. Wakaf farming. Okay, so we can produce our own food. Okay, then the food price become, if enough, more than enough, become cheap. So who's enjoy? This is what Thailand practice since long. Okay, on top of that, more whatever extra they can export. Okay, if we can export, okay, the food, okay, mean we can, narrow the what? The trade deficit. The trade deficit. Okay, now, so what happened? Now, our money is flowing out too much, so we don't have bargaining power. Okay, so our currencies become weak. So through the wakaf instrument, they're embedded in the economic practice, we can solve this problem. We can solve the same with health. Okay, same with education. So a little bit about the system. That's what we practice in Bank Wakaf. Okay, wakaf investment. Okay. Okay. So very fast, we practice profit sharing. Wahalallahu bay'ah. Okay. So profit sharing, for example, this company get a profit. Profit 100,000 ringgit. 100,000 ringgit. For example, operator get 30% from the net profit. 10% allocate for wakaf, 60% for investor. If 100 company, okay, let's say they gain or their profit same, 100,000. If 100 company, how much wakaf generate already? How much? 1 million. 1 million. So in bank wakaf, we don't give this 1 million direct to beneficiaries. What we do is, okay, in wakaf, there's 4 pillars. Okay, one of the pillars is a maquf alayh. You must distribute the fund to for public interest. Okay, so for that, okay, so we okay, 10% from the 1 million wakaf. So the 1 million we collect by asking people to contribute or is self-generated. 1 million. So become upper hand, not lower hand. We're not asking people want to build masjid, asking people to contribute. What we do is we generate from business, all daily business activity, all type of businesses. Okay. For example, here 10% we put into reserve fund. Country that have a big reserve fund become strong. The currency become strong. The economy become strong. For example, Singapore. Singapore reserve fund very, very big. Okay, opposite of reserve fund what? Opposite. Debt. A country that have a low reserve fund, definitely the debt's very big. So when the debt big, you don't have much bargaining power. Okay, that's why last 30 years, okay, equal 1 ringgit to $1 Singapore. Now, 1 ringgit, 3 ringgit become $1. So Singapore, they bring, let's say, 100 ringgit, $100, they can stay 3 nights in Johor hotel. We bring 100 ringgit in Singapore, we can only sleep 2 hours, 3 hours. The same, Singapore, when they import 1 container, okay, let's say $100,000, okay, they can get 3 container. We buy 100,000 ringgit to Singapore, not even 1 container. This is prosperity when we practice wakaf-based system. Practice wakaf economic in the business transaction. 10% for reserve fund. So, ulama, they allowed, because the hukum, okay, wakaf must be ain, assets or land, you know, because this, the benefit can continue, lasting, okay. Now, so this reserve fund we don't put in cash, but we can buy the asset. We can selamatkan tanah-tanah yang dijual. You know, every day, I am also in one group, Lelong group, okay. Every day, our Muslim land, okay, tergadai. Who going to save this land? Of course, Muslims have no money. Okay, so thousands of hectares every day. Okay, so if we have wakaf bank, we can selamatkan, we can save this all the Muslim land. Okay, this 40% we convert into asset. Okay, 40% of the reserve fund we put into gold, 20% into gold. Okay, for example here, I share you my gold business in future, inshallah. So I create a wakaf coin apps. It's already on. Just wait for launching. Okay, this backed by gold. You can use for any business transaction. Okay, you can also use this. You buy 1 gram, 10 gram, can do wakaf also. Okay, now you can do also for investment. Okay, many purpose. Okay, you can stay in hotel. Okay, because the rate is a daily basis. Okay. One more minute. Still not finished. Okay. Little bit more. I just finished my to conclude the system. 10% from microfinance. This I say that this will empower the whole nation, Muslim and non-Muslim. Okay, microfinance, like 1 million. 1 million. If a 10%, how much? 100,000. If you give loan, micro credit, 5,000 ringgit, how many percent get the loan? 20%. We empowering 20% entrepreneur. Okay, later they become a donors, become a wakif. Okay, in Pakistan it's success already. Ukhuwat already give more than 600 million USD with more than 3 million borrowers. Okay, without any interest, not even service charge, no service charge at all. Okay, so this 10% later. Okay, if you can empowering these people, okay, later they become a social capital injection to the economy. Stimulus fund. Okay, another 30% direct to this food bank to unlock the land value. Okay, for food bank, for wakaf health, for wakaf education. Okay, now then this 30%. That means if we set up wakaf banking and practice wakaf economy, every day we can menyantuni. Okay, we can give the charity to all. Okay, then 40% reinvestment. This is the powerful of the system. Okay, so if 1 million fund allocate for reinvestment, how much? 400,000. So this 400,000, let's say we put in same investment or new investment, okay? With the same practice, 30%, 16%, 10%. So now, with 100,000 profit, how much for wakaf? How much? This is the last okay. How much for wakaf? Based on 100,000. 30,000 for operator, business owner, the prominent profit. So wakaf becomes 70,000 ringgit. 60% because that wakaf become internal fund for bank wakaf. Okay? Then the new wakaf, 10%, so 70%. So 100 company becomes 7 million. 7 million. So 7 million, if you distribute based on the formula, 10% for microfinance, how much? 700,000. I mean, we empowered 120 new wakafpreneurs. Okay? Because that's the importance of having a wakaf bank. Okay? Then for the beneficiaries, 2.1 million. More people get benefit. Then further investment fund increase already to become 2.8. This is called 1 equal to 7, 7 equal to 700. Allah doesn't say just for encouraging us to get a reward in the akhirat, but to empower ourselves in this world. Thanks for be a good listener. Thanks. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much, Dato'. You start off by giving a little bit about your history. And still, I want to welcome you to IBF. I mean, if you want to finish your masters, and and you don't have to worry about exams, we can have masters by research, you know. But on the lighter side, with regard to the maths, you know, you said, you know, your maths. Now we are grappling with your maths, you know. How do you get those numbers? I need to discuss with you after this, how you get those numbers. But certainly. I think we have one PhD student doing on Wakaf Bank, right? And every time he comes, I argue with him, it doesn't work. No, I believe, you know. So I believe it's going to work. But of course, it has to work within the Wakaf economy that you have discussed, because we need a frame of a reference. We cannot just have an institution without a system that will support it. Inshallah. I don't want to say anything more, because I have one actually also, because I grew up just across Causeway. I grew up in Singapore, so we used to have mosque building fund, which works out the same approach, that regular contribution. Okay, maybe I can open up now. I suppose, I think they switch off the light. Is it because you want you to think deeply or something like that, and then we switch the light on again? So can we open for questions? We have about 20 or 25 minutes. Let's collect 3 questions at a time. I think, or maybe maximum 4, and then we'll go through round 1 and round 2. Can we start with the first question? Yes, please. And the mic to the front, please. Yeah.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nur Amni Bazilah binti Muhammad Zain, master student from Islamic Revealed Knowledge and Human Sciences. And my research area is in Wakaf. Okay, I just attend a roundtable discussion on Wakaf in USIM last month, and they come with new ideas of Tawriq Wakaf. Okay, so Tawriq Wakaf in Wakaf asset liquidity, especially for the Wakaf land, and I think this is the best solution to get cash from Wakaf land, and then we use this cash to generate income, and then to develop hospital and surau and so on. Okay, and my question to Prof. Dr. Mazlan, what are the type of challenges do we have to face to liquidate Wakaf land into the cash? Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Can I take another 2 questions? Yeah. Okay, can I have another 2 more questions? Because this morning I know there are many questions supposed to come, but yeah, please. at least two more, and then we can group it.
No. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Said Abdullah from Department of Fiqh and Usul Fiqh. I want to ask, so much you have spoken about what we can benefit from unlocking the potentials of Waqf. But we have not spoken so much about the role of the wealth managers. If the wealth is
Sorry,
gathered,
the role of?
the wealth managers. So how do we manage this Waqf wealth, the fund managers now, within the Waqf arrangement, such that the money will not go away? I think it's very important, even to the conventioners, that when the money is gathered, how do we manage such that the underlying asset in the whole process is intact, at least for the investors that are interested in the tawriq of the Waqf and whatever. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, who do you want to direct your question to? Anyone? Okay, open. Next, third question, one more. Yes, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Lisa. I'm a postgraduate in IBF. I have one question maybe that Ubaidah can share to us, because you already practicing this business model. Maybe you can share to us how you guarantee your wakaf because we know that the capital should be remain there. So how you guarantee the capital investment in the wakaf? Thank you.
All right, thank you. May I invite Cik Mazlan first?
Thank you. One of the barrier that we were facing before was to break the psychological barrier. So talking about WAF land, then there's a stigma that WAF cannot be owned, obviously. So even we are still negotiating with the housing department of housing ministry to change from SMP to MOL, memorandum of leasing, because you know we cannot sell the work of land. So alhamdulillah, because the fatwa has been gazetted 19-year lease, and another fatwa has been gazetted for open up for the greens and open spaces as part can be part of wakaf. So we have already appointed a lawyer. Could be the first in the country having this MOL in. So obviously the barrier is psychological barrier, and another thing is the understanding among the ministry people. See, so from the change of mindset from conventional SMP to MOL, memorandum of leasing. So another barrier that we faced before is because of the bank financing, like you said by Dato'. But we keep the minimum because. By virtue of my personal training is in conserving and teaching finance as well in construction and real estate, so and marry the two. So we go to the minimum requirements of end financing. So, but we are fortunate because our father and grandfather, quote and unquote, have allocated reasonable sum of money for us to start with, the Dawakah Selangor and also the MAIS. But obviously, we are going to be on our own eventually and go to the mainstream as a conventional developer and real estate, of course, property focused. But more importantly is to break the barrier. We have tough time really launching the projects and go the statewide, really marketing and coaching, teaching, and so on and so forth. But now we almost overcome the barrier, and even the ministry people already understand the real process of wakaf. Thank you.
So the next one will be on wealth management, wealth manager. Or you want to answer on tawarruk, on the tarwik? Yes, the liquidity part. I mean, I'm open. There are three questions. The one is on the liquidity. The second one will be on the wealth management.
No, just the third one.
The third one is on the guarantee.
Yeah. Based on been practiced in Pakistan. Okay, they give 600 million USD. Okay, they already reached 1 billion rupiah Pakistan. Okay, last year. So, you know, the pay back, okay, how many percent? Out of 3.2 million people, borrower. I spoke direct to the founder, Dr. Amjad. Okay, 99.4%. So I go visit their office last December in the conference, after the conference, okay. I saw how they have 800 branches throughout Pakistan, microfinance, okay. So they don't even use single pence for the operational. I mean the fund that given by public donation, okay. For the I mean their office, for their salaries, okay, for the operation, okay. So they put that money into the, I mean investment, okay, like a mutual fund. So that benefit to fund their activity, I mean the operational, okay. So the borrowers, how they give the borrowers? Okay, first they educate the borrowers. They identify based on the criteria. Okay, first they must businessmen. I mean those who selling something on the road, you know. Okay, for women, sewing machine for example. Okay, so they must take loan. I mean in the group, Okay, they are back each others. Okay, now minimum 3, maximum 6%. Okay, then 1%, maximum 400 USD. So they give the fund after they make all the, I mean the interview, you know, that those 6% must in the same locality, knowing each others. Okay, then they deliver the fund, the checks in the mosque. Okay, in masjid. Okay, they says this fund to empowering you. Okay, it's empowering you. Okay, so the office also, no chair. 800 branches, the same. Okay? So, I mean, they really careful to spend the public fund. Okay? So that's why they are very successful. Okay. So, one second is about, Nazir. Okay. That's why I suggest UIA, okay, because this wakaf industry is very big, very huge, going to be very big. Okay, like a halal industry. You know what happened in the halal industry? We promote halal worldwide. We do halal, advocacy, halal certifications, halal standard. Okay, at the end, who get the benefit? Only less than 15% Muslim exporter export halal. Okay, 85% is non-Muslim. Okay, that's why this, like UIA, you must set up wakaf business school to produce more wakaf learners, wakaf expert, okay, wakaf practitioner. You must set up a wakaf incubation program, okay, until UIA has their own wakaf. For example, this faculty, finance faculty, okay, run on its own finance to pay the salary, to give the wakaf study loan, wakaf scholarship. Okay, now this IBF, okay, own the factories, yeah, own the farms. Okay, you teach people economic. Okay, this is what Dato mentioned this morning: integration of knowledge. Okay, so if all universities do the same, just imagine. Okay, with the correct practice of wakaf economy. Okay, that's why one of the subjects is empowering the amel, empowering the nazir, the mutawali. Then you can supply this mutawali to all the majlis agama. The problem they resist against, they don't accept our business model, our cash wakaf, because they don't have professional. Okay, so this is how we can do the bridging with them. We can transform them. Okay, just imagine the zakat itself more than 2 billion a year. You already can set up wakaf bank, our zakat bank. Okay, with the practice of digital banking system. Okay, you can reduce the cost of management. Okay, like what Ahwat do now, they are transforming into the digital also. Okay? Mean everything is online, everything digital based. If bank, sorry, little bit. If Asia can open their own bank, Asia open their own bank. They challenge, you get your card, I see my card, it says, I'm challenging the banking system. Okay. When you receive your ATM card, okay, big pay, okay, they put there, say, I'm challenging the current banking system. They believe in wakaf, in social banking. Why we do have scholars, a lot of scholars worldwide. Okay, we don't have the courage to set up our own bank. Okay, so we must, from I must create worldwide roadshow on wakaf awareness, wakaf exploration, okay, wakaf advocacy. Okay, this time, the time for wakaf economy to worldwide. Okay. That's why I'm not stopping myself.
Yeah.
Okay, I keep on journey. Okay, next week I'm going to Krabi, then I'm going to Cambodia, then I'm going to Jakarta, then on 20th, this month I will Dr. Zainal going to Istanbul, okay, for a Wakaf conference. Then I'm going to London. Then the 6th April I'm going to Senegal. Okay, non-stop, because I very confident that one day will. Because not only for Muslim, the worldwide, they want a social, economic-based system. Allah, thanks.
Right. Thank you very much. May I invite our two other presenters you would like to add before I open another 3 questions? Yes, please.
I'm quite interested with the sister's question of how could you guarantee the ayn, the fundamental money of the Waqf. This is the question that I've been raising to the ulama's to make new ijtihad. As you know, only Allah can guarantee you. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. If more than 70 to 80% of the problem of the fake is been solved by only one hadith, very short hadith, I think all of us know. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. You see, in business, there's no guarantee of success. You would have planned extremely the best. DBKL comes and change, I'm changing the road from 2-way to 1-way. You are gone. You would have planned. You would have PhD sitting down there. You've got people with masters sitting down there. You have people like from your institute sitting down there. All it needs one small decision from PBT and nobody will come to your outlet, for example. So this is where we need some new innovation. I think the scholars will have to do. And I just wanted to, one small thing, Prof. I'm a member of the World Jewish Congress. At first they rejected me. For the past 20 years, they kept me. I'm also a member of APAC. You know what is APAC? AIPAC. You know what is APAC? Please, I will have to put my head down if I'm in URA and the students don't know what is APAC. Huh? Apa dia? 100 chicken. Organic chicken. Subhanallah. APEC is the biggest enemy of Islam, and don't tell me all of you don't know. American Israel Public Affairs Committee. I'm a member of APEC. Let me just tell you, World Jewish Congress meets once a year. This year they meet and they have a lot of problems that is being raised by all the members who attend throughout the world, and they raise up the hand, they have this problem, this problem, this problem. The next meeting, the problem is solved. World Chinese Assembly also meets once a year. And all the agendas are raised during that particular session. Next year, they make sure it is settled between them. You know, when somebody raised up and say, I got a problem, the first question he asks you, where are you from? Senegal, okay? Who else in the room from Senegal who has this? Or who else from out from Senegal who has stainless steel to solve my brother's problem? Couple of them raise their hand, they sit down inside there, they settle the problem on the spot. But for Muslim, it will take another 1,000 years to settle a Waqf problem. You know, because why? The guy who studies Sharia and all these things, he thinks he knows hell of a best. He don't respect anybody else. That's the problem people like us face. The first question when I speak to scholars, what do you study? Where you study? What do you study? I mean, if this is the question to evaluate somebody's knowledge, then it's a shame on Muslim to understand. I mean, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. I mean, this is where we are today. That's why the Waqaf issue, wallahi, Prof, I'm not belittling throughout my experience working for multinational company like Coca-Cola, Pfizer. I was the advisor for the Saudi Palm and Date Council. I'm a special rapporteur officer for Maldives, Djibouti, and now I sit on the digital transformation program for Raji. The more you talk, you're not going to achieve anything. That's our problem. So the students here should remember one thing, is you need to do something. Let us fail. Let us fail. I'm prepared to fail my business. If today Allah destined me to lose my factory, which last year I lost $30 million, I'm prepared to lose. Why you worry? That's Allah's job. He gave you, took it away. The one question you must have in your heart is ikhlas. What is the criteria to go into the heaven? What is the nas in Al-Quran? Who memorized Quran here? يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالُ بَلَا بَنٌ إِلَّا مَنْ أَطَى اللَّهَ. Why you are worried? Why you are worried? Tell me. I give an example of Yusuf Nada. Anybody knows who's Yusuf Nada? You studying banking? Come on! At my students in University Malaya, I'm the head of the R&D center. Anybody students comes like this, I carry a bottle of milk with me. I say, you want this? You're banking students. Yusuf Nada is the owner of Baraka Bank. If it's the Jews, Christians, and the United Nations put him under house arrest and took away billions of his dollars. He was the founder, he's the funder for Ikhwanul Muslimin and other countries. Go yourself, buy a book, Yusuf Nada is available. Written by a Christian lawyer, translated by, I'm not sure, it's available in Malay language. Buy. He lost entire money. He was prisoned in the house. And finally, United Nations says Bank Baraka is not involved in the funding of Al-Qaeda. They says, okay, by that time he has lost everything. You know what he said? Alhamdulillah, I have time to rest now. You see, in the chapter he wrote, Prof, the Iranian government wanted so badly for steel and iron because they're an embargo. They called him, they say, in the spirit of Islam, he say, help. He got the iron from Czechoslovakia, passed through Russia, passed through Afghanistan, and finally the Iranians didn't pay him. He said, Alhamdulillah. So that's the attitude we should take. If you do it anything with innamal a'malu binniyat, Allah knows best. If you fail, so what? Go. Allahu a'lam. Yes, bro.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you for inviting me here. The journey into healthcare, Waqaf healthcare, is not easy. Okay, because our people tend to discriminate and also look down to the. You look into the age, experience, the bank, they not track record. People start with the ideas. In the Waqaf, we are not looking into investors to buy our ideas. We look at people, ummah, to buy the ideas. Me as a pediatrician, I've been terminated recently from one of the hospital because maybe the idea to have affordable healthcare. Being as a pediatrician, I am the top earners among general pediatrician. I have to say that lah, because I also don't know why I have to involve in this Waqaf, but wa makaru wa makarallah. I love the idea of being lost. Why? Because you inna ma'al usri yusra, inna ma'al usri yusra, fa inna ma'al usri yusra, inna ma'al usri yusra, kan? You achieve high, the end of the day you must be down. But Waqaf will be sustained, perpetual. So the end of the day, if everyone here willing to be part of Kasih, let it be. Wakaf is yours. Nothing to do with me, actually. That is the whole idea of kasih. The whole idea of kasih is everyone should have accessibility and affordable healthcare. Everybody should not seek for, please help me plead for fine 30,000, 50,000, 150,000 to get treatment in IJN, you know, that kind of thing. Because money in terms of healthcare or anybody and food security is guaranteed by Allah. So why must we actually take the things that are guaranteed by Allah to make profit out of it? So in that sense, I lost everything lah, basically. I earned 6 figures income, still with number 2 in front. Banyak oh. Banyak. Actually more than the PM. Tapi PM lagi kaya lah kot. Politician richer lah. You know, that kind of thing. So the whole idea, because bila we walk to our suburban, our urban, if you go to the market, just now I spoke to Arba Foundation. They are talking about breastfeeding. 20% of Malaysian stunted growth. Being into pediatrics, as a pediatrician for past 10 years, stunted growth in Malaysia, not because of you fail to buy food. You fail to get adequate and nutrition food. That's the whole thing. Ikan kembung, berapa sekilo? I love to go to market. Ikan kembung, RM18 sekilo. Okay, RM18 sekilo. So you're talking about a woman who actually breastfeeding, and Allah said very clear, breastfed your child for 2 years or 13 months. I'm a hardcore breastfeeding. Only 10% women are unable to breastfeed due to health reason, but 90% able to breastfeed. So there's no such thing as you cannot breastfeed. The main thing is the nutrition that been fed to the mother. So kalau you earn in KL 5,000, habis duit rumah, habis duit kereta, habis duit tol, bla bla bla, tinggal 500, means you only makan nasi yang banyak, lauk yang sikit. You eat a lot of rice and minimum protein and elemental vitamins. So that kind of thing, that makes our child grow stunted. In comparison with other states, Malaysians are heading to stunted lagi rendah. You know, we had this data very long time ago. So as a Malaysian Pediatric Association, we have been fighting for get adequate and nutritional food. How to get this done? To make it affordable. As a banker, majority of your future banker, we've seen oil and gas industry plunged recently. Means in next 24 or 72 or at least 1 or 2 months down the road, you will see major VSS or retrenchment. So we'll see many people are unable to eat, and many people are unable to get treatment in the hospital. So being a doctor, I earn. Kena terminate pun, I got another hospital. I've been appointed to cater 2 hospitals owned by the Chinese, NS Matrix, which they like the idea that I carried affordable healthcare. Means, if 10 case we paid, full paid, 1 case free, boleh buat kan? It can be done. But when I speak to majority Malay or Muslim hospital, they refuse. What we have to pay? We still have to pay our nurses. For God's sake, 10 case you got full paid, 1 case free, they just refuse to help. 10 case free, 1 brother from Arab, from Yemen to help, they just refuse to help. You see, the Chinese, we have Lam Wahi, we have 770, we have Tung Shing, we have now, I work National Negeri Sembilan Community and also Mawar Hospital. They say, bring the patient, doctors. You can bring the patient. What will I do then? Am I bringing them up and let my fellow Muslim hospital down? That's the issues that I have to carry. I have to answer this, to you or to my own awareness kan. So benda ni penting. So I hope everybody can spread the words. Wakaf healthcare is not for me. Kasih is not belongs to me. If anybody want to become a trustee, by all means, get it done. Kasih need to move we give them under the Ummah, not under Majlis Export. That's the only thing that we have. We invite every bank to be part of us, you know, whatever means. Don't look into the track record because it doesn't belong to me. So that's why people ask me, so who are we? Who are we? I don't know who are we. So, but then hopefully we are launching the project under National Wakaf, National Affordable Hospital. Hopefully we manage to see the new PM. We always bulldoze, we don't care. So, because we did that before. So, under economic stimulus together with Sam Dhabi, and hopefully the bank is willing to work with us under SSPN, like SSPN kind of thing. Hopefully. Thank you very much.
Prof, I just one thing for the students to go back home and do some research, and they can email me. One of the biggest endowment business worldwide, they're also very big in Malaysia. Please do some research on IKEA. It's an 100% endowment business. Its profit is 100% donated to endowment. Do some research and see.
Right, thank you. So looks like the first wave is already a big wave of questions. I don't think we can go for the second wave. But certainly, with permission, if we can put up your slides on our website so that the students can benefit. And if there are questions later on, we'll think of another forum. But more important, I believe we could look forward to some special case studies that we can work with each of the members and have a spin-off from that in terms of projects and incubation and so on. I think on that note, I would like to say thank you. And can we have a big round of applause, right? And Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. May we pass back to the chairperson.
Thank you so much for the moderator, Dr. Syed Musa, for very good moderating for the event. And now we would like to have the delivering for the token of appreciation for all the panelists. Right. For the first one, before that, I would like to invite the Deputy Dean of IIBF, Professor Dr. Rusni Hassan, to deliver the token of appreciation to the panelists. Right. For the first one, I would like to invite Dr. Muhammad Zakrul Razman Muhammad Pozi, the Director of Kazi Holdings Yang Berhad. The next one, Dato' Abu Ubaidah Kemin, the founder and the president of Bank Wakaf International.
Follow me. Wakaf economy. Again. More louder. Wakaf economy. Wakaf economy.
Thank you. Yeah. The next one, we'd like to invite Dr. Muhammad Zainul Ahmad Hajar, the founder of Zainul Chicken Industries. And last and not least, Dr. Muhammad Mazlan Haji Cik Mat, the president of MCM Values Niam Berhad. And now I would like to invite all the panelists and Prof. Rusni together for the photo session and together with Dr. Syed Musa. Thank you again for all panelists and for the moderator of the session, Dr. Syed Musa, and also for the Deputy Dean of IIBF, Professor Dr. Rusni Hassan. Right. Now is the end of the session for today, for the ISFO 2020. I would like to thank all of you for coming for today, for the first day of ISFO 2020. And don't forget to come tomorrow for day 2. We start on tomorrow for 9 a.m. Right now, let's end our session with Surah Al-As and Tasbih Kafara.